And as I was sitting there, and I decided to go ahead and go for my, for my route and start the grind and all that. I realized I was like, boom. Once you become to that point of where you are in your stillness and you are vibrationally on a match with, with nature in itself, you realize that is the rise. You know what I'm saying? We hear a lot of talk about 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D consciousness, but it's the dimensions, it's density, you know what I mean? Which we're going on by Mother Earth. So for me, it's like, it's important. Like, if I'm not sure how to move in the day, I don't know if everybody does this stuff, but just like how we go open the door real quick to go see how cold or how hot it is before we get dressed.
Check your hair.
I'm gonna go outside and look at the birds and everything. I'm gonna go outside and see how the wind is blowing. This is gonna let me know exactly how I'm supposed to move. Is it busy? Is nature busy? Or is it being quiet? Is it still? How do I need to move? And so for me, it's like the observance of nature. And then also, when it comes to nature though too as well, it's also moving in accordance with nature though too as well. Because wintertime for us melanated people, it's one of those times where we should be having our hair wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? We should be more kind of building and hibernating these things though. We feel more charged up during the summertime as well though too. So it's picking and choosing when it is that we can move through these seasons, which also internally it represents us too emotionally too as well. Same way with the moon cycles too as well. It becomes a feeling and it becomes a letting go. So for me, the moon has always been something a little sacred for me though too, because when the full moon hits, I'm like, okay, well, what have I manifested? What has taken place? What goals have I hit? What have I filled this moon up? Being intentional with my timing too, not just going out and charging my water and lighting candles. You know what I mean? I really want to know what is going on within my, what is going on within myself right now when it's hit though, because it's a different cycle now. You know what I mean? It's on to the next one. So nature for me, that's what nature.
Yeah.
I talk.
We love a talker though. I mean, that's what we're here for. So, okay. The last thing before we get to you guys' questions, is the power of community.
Power of community. Okay. Power of community has been real big for me. I'm from Louisiana, so it's always been a big thing for me too as well. Too, from Alexandria, Louisiana, all right? And I've been out in the DW area or DFW area. See what I'm saying? About a year now. About a year now. And so it served me well though too. But also too, as one of my sisters said, hey yo, the tribe is out here. The tribe is always here. And when you walk with a purpose, you're gonna come across people who are your tribe. You're gonna come across people who are gonna be able to give you those things that you need, and vice versa too as well. And it won't feel like a giving or a take. I believe like I'm too big for a gatekeeper. I step on those. I don't believe in gatekeeping. If you know something, I believe that you should give it on to the tribe, regardless of if it's use to you or not, because somebody might be able to use that though too later on coming around. So the hold back on anything when it comes to community, when it comes to tribe, that's a scarcity mindset. That means you don't believe that there's enough around for you to get though too. And there's always enough around for me to get because there ain't no blockage. It's always overflow because we're infinite. So I don't know blocks and it's infinite. At the end of the day, I feel like we deserve these things anyway. Kabbalah says there's no such thing as desires, right? Which means that we come into this place already with the things that we want, with the abundance that we seek, with the joy, with all these different things. So my biggest thing is like asking for peace. Because if I know what brings me peace, whether it's joy, whether it's tribe, whether it's community, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's food, whether it's clothes or whatever it may be, it's bringing me peace. I'm gonna get all these things. I don't have to ask for anything else outside of peace after that though, because I already know what brings me peace. But this goes back into being able to be still, and also being able to be still enough to see yourself to say, okay, well, fine. What tribe is, I meet a lot of people, but I don't rock with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So like, and not everybody that rock with you rolling with you too at the same time too. Sometimes incapacities, and that's okay too as well, because I have friends I go to a card game with, and I got friends that go to art show. I got friends that like, I didn't call you because we got to drive by to do it. I don't do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not anymore. But it's different levels. Does that mean that they're less friends than the others? Absolutely not. But what it does mean though is that in tribe, though, you should be able to find your reflections of your own duality, of your own polarity within the tribe as well, though, too. So that way you can go and experience tribe in its fullness, and they can experience you in its fullness, so too as well. Because for me, I personally, like, I don't want anybody that's around me that's not their fucking authentic self. I'm gonna be at my all the time, whatever I am, too as well. You know what I mean? So for me, tribe is the big thing, because without tribe, though, my walk would probably have a lot of walk in it right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I've got from tribe over time, and even sometimes tribe has changed, but at the same time, it's still the same though too as well. You know, once again, we're holding on to experiences and not the people. You know, gratitude for the exchange at all times, whether it ends in bad or good. But for me, I was like, tribe's everything though too as well, because tribe is what it's going to take you though to where you need to go. You should have people that's gonna be around and have you accountable and tell you, nah, you fucking up right now, or you out of pocket right now. Or yeah, go ahead and do that shit. Or somebody gas you up. As long as they're not gassing you up into a wall for you to crash out on, it should be a good thing. So tribe is definitely necessary. And it doesn't take anything away from you to have tribe. It shouldn't.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yes,
I
thank
love my
you.
tribe.
Yes. You said a lot of times, for sure. Yes, clap it up for all of them, you guys. I feel like you guys did this a lot. Definitely appreciate all the gems that you guys gave us today, and holding space to be able to give us anything. I think that this is very important for us to do, to hold space and build community amongst ourselves, to be able to talk and to be able to get those hugs and to be able to learn and get those books and, like, you know, be able to read and learn from each other. Because I know you guys learn from each other right now, just speaking about things or whatnot. And I hope that you guys were able to get something from it as well from the people watching online, because there was a few people on there watching and commenting on what you guys were saying. So thank you so much for all of you guys for joining us and being able to listen and hold space for what they were saying. Do any of y'all have any questions or any comments?
Dr. Reed, I have a question. You said that you want to help people transition from Eastern to holistic medicine. How would you go about recommending someone do that if they're like heavily medicated currently?
The biggest tool that people can use is documentation. Whenever you approach a Western doctor, their automatic mindset is to start you on a medication, increase your dose, add another medication. So, like, in order to justify your lifestyle changes that you make in order to make yourself well, then the best way to do that is document. So, like, if you are on a wellness journey, first of all, doctors don't hardly, besides our holistic people, they don't really recommend lifestyle changes anymore because they already know you're not going to do it. So you have to prove to them that you're doing certain things and not just on your every 3-month lab visits. You know what I'm saying? Every day, what do you do? How is your blood pressure? How's your blood sugar? Like, things that you can test and document, because they already don't believe that you're gonna be well by yourself. And they don't believe in holistics, really, or else they would find duality. Like, I think the biggest question that I get is people are like, well, how can you be a part of the Western system, but then you also talk about holistics? Because that have to be the liaison for those people who may want to get off of Western medication. That's the biggest tool that you can do, is document, advocate for yourself, find an advocate, find other, holistic practitioners who can help you get the changes that you really need, reverse your conditions, and heal yourself.
Thank you.
Also, can you talk about knowing your labs?
Absolutely. So every time that you go to the doctor's office, I really like medical conversation. Every time you go, they do your blood work. Okay, your blood work tells these practitioners what they need to know. From everything like potassium levels. People don't understand that potassium affects your heart. Potassium levels, your blood sugar level. Sometimes they can tell you if you're anemic or not. Like, their blood tests tell you everything. But a lot of times people will go get the test and never look at their own results. And that's empowering. Know your labs. Or else you're gonna leave it up to the provider to interpret what that means to you. Sometimes you do need that interpretation, but then if you don't put your own eyes on it and see where you're at, then that's you lose your power because you're dependent on somebody else to help you understand what's going on with your body. And that's how we end up dependent. That's how we make these drug companies trillionaires. And it's all based off our lack of education and our lack of willingness to make lifestyle changes and consider holistic medication.
I have a few questions, but I'm going to start with you, Bella. Was there any strategy in regards to how you placed the panelists on the panel today, like where they actually sat?
Where they sat? No.
Okay. I just got something when I was listening, based on starting from Tyra all the way down. So I guess I got made that comment then, because I thought it was
Yeah, no, I normally do that, but no, I didn't today. You guys aligned yourself very, really good. Thank you so much. That was better on me.
Okay. It gave me what I needed. Okay, so then my next one, I will start with Dr. Cooper. Okay. So Dr. Cooper, in regards to like exiting out of the foster care system, coming to doctors that you overcame that you did not think that you could, as you stated. What would be some advice for those of us who are like clinical social workers who work with what they call challenge youth, or who work in the public system where the kids have a disciplinary action that obviously follows them from elementary school, middle school, high school? What are some things that you think that we should include as those practitioners to help with their mental health after dealing with certain circumstances that I'll leave it there.
That's a great question. First and foremost, like be present, because they can tell if you're not present at all. Trust me, I knew when I was talking to a lot of counselors, they was not present. They were just doing stuff at me, and they just showed with love. Like there's a lot. So also like you can also create community within them and give them more of a better option to like explore their creativity versus being in the box, right? Some of them like art, some of them don't like art, some of them like to go play. Just like really just figure out what they like and then just kind of expand and then try to kind of challenge them to try other things. Because eventually their personality or their creativity of themselves will eventually come out. Because when I was like in these different environments, foster care, the first one was it was in literally out in Waco, like basically out of Tasker, Texas. That was like very, very secluded. They do religion with people, like for real. And then the next one was more in a Black household, which I learned other things, which is of myself, like, you know, because we all sinners, you know. So I ended up stealing this stuff, but they still showed care. They should show patience with me and everything. That's why I remember before I got moved somewhere else. Because like I said, my environment just kept changing. And you gotta understand that where they are is like everything is like new. Everything is like, okay, well, I don't really have friends, like don't really have like that consistency of friends or somebody to talk to or stuff like that. If you can bring consistency to presence, that's a big change. That's what I learned like throughout. So it's like when I was talking about my uncle kept showing up. My mom kept showing up even though she was like dealing with a lot of like my family was big time drug dealers like at the time. So that's why we got into these spaces of foster care. My little sister got adopted and stuff like that. We ended up reconnecting in 2016. But for me, it just I just remember I felt a little different than most. It was just like I was more of an observer. Like I observed things and asked why. You know, I was calling one lady my mom for years. And I said, why I was calling her. And then I found out my mom was in jail all the time. So when I was in foster care, I was like 5 to 11, you know? So everything was like new, but like I said, presence. And then just continue to be consistent. That's the biggest change.
Thank you. The next one will go to, I'm trying to remember names. I'm staring right at your face now, you know I don't remember your name. Barb, Gavin? Okay, I want to call you Gavin first. Okay, so So you get the community that, and I think that's why I asked about where you place it, because you talked about having to basically adapt to a new household constantly and personality that he adapted. And then you start talking about that as well, like some of the personalities that we take on and we get older, we start to shed those identities and find ourselves. So my children are 18, 12, and 3. Can you give me, based on, I'm also a transplant too. So based on your change from coming from your hometown to DFW and what you've experienced and what you shared, can you give me some insight as I go into parenting an adult of what that looks like to accept that quote unquote rebellion phase of my teenager going into adulthood?
It's the 18-year-old
Male.
male. For me, moving out here, it took a lot. I have a child back in Mississippi, 15-year-old son. It took a lot of gathering thoughts, trying to actually understand what it was I wanted to accomplish. When you're at home, you're in your element, and you kind of get complacent and stuck in your element. The good thing about moving, when you move, you have to either find your element again, which is probably not the best thing to do, but you're gonna shed all of the fact. You're gonna go to a new city and you're gonna find the people or the community that you need and what you're looking forward to. I would tell him to figure out what it is that he would want to do, which way he want to go or whatnot, and then just start seeking out those kind of people when you get into that spot. One thing about moving, of course, it's easy, just like I don't want to use that as an example. It's easy for you to get back into your negative side. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you are trying to run away from, it's very easy to find those kind of things. If you're always in a club and you normally pick bad friends and make bad decisions with those kind of people, I would recommend going to the club when you move. At least not first. Like find the people that are more aligned with where you're trying to go, and they'll probably not be in that space. So that kind of deter you from going to the club. I mean, it works for some people. Again, it's all about where the angle that you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a lot of discipline. I will also tell them to get in the gym. And the reason why I press the gym so much, to me, that's the best place I found to build discipline. And one thing about building discipline, once you have it, it spreads over everything. So, I remember the old Jackson 5 movie where it didn't make sense to me, but he had them moving bricks from here today, and then tomorrow they move from here. It's dumb, but it's building discipline. You know what I'm saying? So once you get that, then it's more easy to focus on where you're trying to go and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Minimize the women. That's gonna be hard for them to do. But that's a part of growing up. I definitely just try to keep that in his mind. Go from there.
Thank you. Hopefully he remains a tech nerd and still thinks that girls have cookies. This is my last one, really. I don't know, I just feel like there's a story behind these earrings. I know you talked about kind of like your relationship with like your music and your art, and also we talked about competition. We kind of talked about this yesterday at the Women's International Women's Day event as well. But the part of like capitalism, I think you kind of trying to into a little bit into capitalism, honoring your work, but also knowing your worth. But is there a story behind these earrings? I don't know. I didn't even notice them at first until after you spoke, and I started being a little bit more observant. As you were speaking, I'm like doing like my breath work to kind of like reground myself and to my higher self, and then I started noticing different things about you guys and remembering things you were saying. So if there's a story, but if not, if you could talk about like how you deal with as an artist, teeter-tottering between capitalism or having to play a role into it and being your authentic self as an artist.
So I'll touch on both. Yes, there's a story behind the earrings. I have a friend that makes jewelry and clothes, and he's out in Vegas now. He used to live here in Dallas. His name is Bobby Burgers. Chris Borlaug, if y'all are familiar with that. But when I first started performing, he used to make jewelry back, when he was here before me. And so he's always very intentional with the jewelry and things that he makes. You know what I'm saying? He does the saging and everything over everything that he creates. And generally, it's only one of what he's making there. He won't make the same thing with somebody else, right? So this line is prosperity. So the earrings are prosperity earrings, meaning you're calling forth prosperity for your life, right? And when he hit me up, he was like, I'm starting a new line and I want to send you something. I ordered one pair, he sent me 4, and this was one of the others, right? So what he told me is literally this is my prosperity line. The little flow is like flying, you know, and I'm a butterfly. I like to consider myself a butterfly. Thank you. So he knows me very well, and I believe that he created that for me personally because he knows that I need to be out here flying and not standing still, right? So that's pretty much the story in a short version of the earrings. But yeah, I have a few different pair of things, including necklaces and bracelets that he's made for me. And I intend to get them all the time. Every time I can get something else, I get something else because generally when I go out and perform, I'll wear a piece of something that he's made for me because I know that he specifically made it for me. And it kind of helps me feel like I'm doing this shit I need to do, right? On the other part, so you were asking, I want to make sure I'm clarifying so I answer you correctly. You were asking how I separate, I guess, the two from being caught up in just things that are happening, you know, like somebody may invite me to perform at an event that doesn't automatically align with where the healing aspect or where I want to make sure that my messages are being received. So the thing about that is we can't pick and choose where we want to share, right? I don't take every gig. Sometimes I turn them down because I can look at it and see that that's just not where I want to be. But I may get an invite for an event that I might not normally do, but the person that's curating the event, I know where their heart is with the event. So there may be people in there that I might not automatically just vibe with like that, but they're intentionally creating a space from their energy level, right? So I'll go anyway. And that's because most likely there's going to be somebody there that I can help. And I don't waver from being my authentic self. We all have different versions of ourselves, right? If you give me in a space like the event we just had here at Post Park last week, we were vibing out, y'all. I can cuss, I can do all the cussing I want to do, and that's still a version of me, right? I don't always have to be so serious because in a personal aspect, I look at everything from a logical standpoint. I'm very, very, like my work ethic is so important to me. I want to make sure that I'm on time for everything. I don't like to be late. I want to make sure I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm well informed. Communication is being made. Like all of those things are important to me too. But I also realize that when we're operating, just operating in a space, no matter what, without all the extra that I normally like, beauty comes from those spaces too. So I don't have to change who I am just because I'm in a space that might not naturally align with what I'm trying to do in life. I can still go out and be me because that is what's going to attract what you need to have. So I might meet somebody in a space that I didn't really think I would have just naturally said, I'm going there, you know. But I needed to meet them. And I'm telling you right now, everywhere that I go, I always meet at least one. And if it's just one, that's all you need, right? Because that word, like passing on the blessings that we receive, that's gonna happen regardless. Without all the social media, without none of that, our interactions with each other are going to flow from person to person to person in whatever aspect we need it to. So I don't really have a problem being my authentic self anywhere I'm at. I'm gonna give y'all all the damn emotions because that's who I am. I believe in sharing every emotion. So if I have to curate a set, I'm always gonna make sure that I'm ending a set with something inspirational. Because I touch on every emotion, it can get a little heavy, right? So ending it with that inspirational portion is what I focus on in any space. But I ain't taking everything, because some of them spaces ain't what's up.
First I want to say thank you, Bella, for putting this together. I stay so busy, and it's been a long time since I have given myself space to come to something of this nature, and it is very necessary, and I love the intimacy of this. I have a question actually for anybody, actually everybody, that's not anybody. I would like to hear everybody's answer. So I think I can probably speak for the majority of people, because I can feel the energy in the room that we feel differently in this moment right now than we probably felt when we walked in here initially. So I would like to hear from everybody. What is something that you took from somebody in this room, anybody in this room that you interacted with or heard from today, that you will take into your current space, especially how the current state of society is? What is something that you have heard today that you think will help you moving into your next moment?
Sarah, can you go first?
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I saw his mind.
Thinking already for Twitter. I think it's too loud, huh?
My bad.
Let me think here. Okay. Today, what I gathered from everybody though too, I guess it's going down. Talk about the emotional aspect of things as well too, which hit me this week though too. I've been dealing emotionally with a lot. You know, like why am I feeling like this? And I'm gonna blame it on the retrograde and all this. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have some accountability around here. But I was like, I need to really check how I feel about things though too as well though too. You know. And Burns talking about how just being able to find the discipline and to move forward, you know, and to basically step out. You know, that's one of the things also doing well too. I did a lot of overthinking this week though too. I started to do a lot of overthinking. Let me clear that up. You know, it's like, you know, what's my next move? What I'm gonna do? You know, what is? And I found myself saying, man, fuck my next move. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with what aligns with me energetically. You know what I'm saying? And not be planning out things and just worry about what it is that I have coming next, and just go with what works energetically for me. And with that meaning, like I had to figure out, I had to go and plan and say, okay, well, what is it? And those things came to me. So I was like, you know, find the downtime was kind of like the detoxing part. I had kind of the detoxing part from performing on stage versus doing settings like this. Though, because I feel like at this point right now, this serves me more to get in front of a microphone and speak in front of a crowd right now. You know, and the doctor too as well, as far as the reading though too, in the book clubs, as you spoke on too, is you too, Tyler too. What was it, Zora Neale Hurston? Yeah. Growing up, my mom, man, shout out to my moms. But she kept a lot of books around. So like part of punishment growing up though too was like,
Yes,
read,
that was
you know what I'm saying? So,
2 hours, baby.
There's some of them, guess what? You're gonna read a book, you know. And I used to read anywhere, you know. The cereal box, I probably read it about 45,000 times every day, you know. I'm always reading though. So that stuck with me though, you know, and forget the fact that when you read and share with other people though too, you also broaden your own perspective. What you broke about the being able to rise, you know, like your consciousness of too, also has to do with intellectualizing too. And we're not opening ourselves to a deeper conversation, a deeper verbiage, deeper colloquialism, and things of that nature. How are we going to go and rise into these different spaces without expanding in the first place too? But there is room for it, and we just have to know that it's already there and expand it. So reading was one of those things that most definitely it helped me out in a in a very good way, you know. And what you spoke about though too as well. Recently, not recently though, but a while back though, like, you know, with the foster care we spoke on there, I do understand, I empathize in that aspect because, one of my, I don't know what to call it now though, but in a previous relationship, I raised somebody who came out of foster care, you know, the family came out of there. So, you know, from the middle school on to graduation though too, there was a lot that came along with that though too, you know, as far as that goes. And finding placements, part of hearing placements, moving back and forth though too, coming from a military family though too as well. I definitely understand how that's like though too, because I used to go to every other school and I'm having to fight everybody every time I move. Every time I go somewhere, I'm having to blend with somebody, I'm a new person in the school. You know, girls don't lie, but I ain't got no boyfriend. Come to find out she do this, they want to fight me at 3 o'clock in the parking lot. I'm not knowing them because I'm brand new. I'm having to blend with all these cats every time I come down, you know, and have to find myself within new spaces every time too. You know, Louisiana was probably like the longest I ever lived anywhere. It was in Louisiana. So I definitely understand how it is to find placement within yourself while moving around too. Because that can be a hard thing. Because at some point I was like, I was so used to not being able to have any kind of stability in the aspect of saying, now I know it's gonna be fluid, I'm gonna move here, and here. Then I found myself wanting to have stability, and it gave me some bad habits at the point though too as well. Forming like relationships, toxic shit, you know, trying to find some stability. And I had to correct that myself. So I, you know, when you talked about that, I definitely understood from where that was coming from too, you know. I definitely understood that though as well. And Tyler, you know, I know you kicked it off. You know, and you kicked it off. But I ain't go first either. Shout out to you for that. But you know, even with the things that you said as well though too, because one of the things is what I got from you too is also being your authentic self. You know, because I was like, man, how PG can I be today? You know what I'm saying? I know we're doing the healing part though. And you said, bam, I'm gonna kick your dog in front of them. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and slide through too, all right? You know, even with the fashion aspect, as far as like saying, I'm gonna put this on, you know, because I'm putting it on. It's not making me. This is how I'm gonna do it. If I wear a top hat today, that's what I'm gonna do. And I feel like that is the kind of move that we need to have when it comes to being free and being open and healing them too. Is saying, okay, fuck it, this is what I'm doing today. And it just don't look right, and it don't feel right today, or it don't feel right, you know, for tomorrow, then I can do something different. So it's really just about the reinvention of self when it comes to healing. Because, you know, who's to say how long it's supposed to take? Who's to say what it's supposed to look like? You know, it's differently for all of us. And I feel like we're hearing everybody speak on this so too, you know, there was things that I had to remind myself from hearing, you know, of saying, okay, you know what, though, maybe I need to do more of this. Maybe I need to do a little more planning here, though. Maybe I need not take things so serious, you know. Maybe I need to tap into my emotional side. Maybe I need to go back and hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to be a little, you know, there's different things that I got from everybody up here. So for me though, this served me as well too, and I really appreciate, you know, being on the stage with all of y'all here though, and hearing everything that y'all said today too. I really appreciate it. Gratitude for that.
I'm not gonna elaborate too much because y'all know I'm gonna be talking, but I really took a lot from everybody. This is the kind of shit I really love to do, because it really helps us, right? It helps us all kind of figure out if we need to adjust, you know, the way we're handling certain things, because sometimes we be thinking we healing through some shit, then boom, we need to go back to that, you know, tap back into something and kind of figure out where certain triggers came from, right? So I took away something from everybody. Stan, no, me and Stan, we talk all the time. So he always giving me gems on, you know, and I try to do the same for him in return. So what I really enjoyed with Stan is the part that he mentioned about nature, and actually observing how things are moving outside. I don't think I ever went that deep into that part, even though you know it's there, like that's important. Like, you know, when it's getting cold, them birds they go in a certain direction when it's getting cold. They trying to get to some warmth, right? the bears, they don't hibernate, you know what I'm saying, at certain periods, and like, that's all important. But actually thinking about it and applying it to your own life is pretty cool, right? And I like nature, I'm like Bella, you know what I'm saying, we earth
Earth
signs.
babies, yes.
So we like being in all the things in earth. I like the butterflies and the flowers and smelling and looking at the grass to see if it's gray or brown or when the leaves falling in the fall, you know, I like all that. I go lay in the leaves. When all the leaves be in the grass, I go lay out there, you know, so I love that too. Vern say he don't talk much, he's not really verbal like that a lot of times, right? But when we get in these spaces, we can say what we need to say. I love the advice that you gave as far as baby boy. Well, not really baby boy, but your firstborn,
He's
right?
still a baby.
Cause I have three grown boys now. And my youngest is the rebellious one. He the one that give me hell, still giving me hell today. And he about to be 19. And he's better than he was, but he still got a lot of work to do. And I be in tears sometimes about the stuff that he goes through. So what you shared and Dr. Coop shared about just transitioning and how our kids are rebellious because we're trying to put something on them that they not, you know, they not digging. And they may not always know how to express it, right? So we have to get in the space to just kind of flow. My baby boy been that boy all his life. Since he was 3-4 years old, he'd be running outside. We looking for him like, where the hell we think somebody done kidnapped him? And he at somebody's neighbor house. Oh, I was just playing. Boy, you can't run off like that. And he been running off like that all his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of things that everybody said today that I am personally going to take in. I was hoping to be able to write more down, but I know Bella got this stuff on video.
Yeah.
And I won't be replaying it back because we learn in community and we grow. And if we not growing, y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed my shirt. The shirt says, if you not healing, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you dying. Apply it to a flower. If that flower not blooming, it's dying, right? And so we have to constantly be learning from each other so that we can continuously bloom and get through those healing journeys. So I'm gonna cut it short because I know I'm gonna talk a lot, but I really took something from every single person, including y'all, the audience questions. All this triggers us to think about the things that we're doing so we can learn from every step, every interaction, right? So yeah.
Well, you actually spoke well, I'm gonna go with that, and you can take up half of the time that I'm gonna use, because like a business. I learned a lot from everybody as well. Some of the stuff kind of drummed in me, starting with Ms. Tyre. She mentioned reading and journaling. Two things that I don't do as much and try to process a lot of things in my head and figure it out. I need to put it down. Then you came right back with it, Doc, and talking about the timestamps and whatnot. So then you're all teaching me how and what I need to do moving forward with it. Doc Coop, listening to your story kind of gave more fuel to keep going. You know what I'm saying? You conquered a lot during adversity through life and whatnot, and that's something that'll keep me disciplined and keep me grounded and wanting to move forward. Miss Lady, they say she need 8 hugs. I'm gonna give you one now, and I'll give you one more. How unapologetically emotional you are and willing to be. That's dope. I think us as men, we have to embrace that as well. And so that kind of gave the fuel to be able to speak and be vulnerable in that kind of fashion. So that kind of loosened me up a little bit as well. I wish you would sit on this side. So I can It's all good. And to get back to her question, my element for today, I'm gonna leave that with Mr. Poet Stans. Listening to nature, like you were saying, you know what I'm saying? Seeing how the birds move and seeing how everything is outside, just being aware of your surroundings. I haven't gotten as far as my nature as Bella is hugging trees. I ain't got to that point yet, but I hear great things about it. I'm trying eventually, I'm not to that point yet. But yeah, you gotta just be aware. So I'm more conscious of how things are moving. Like you said, I would step outside and check the temperature if we can go in and figure out how to dress. I'm be more mindful of what I'm looking at, what's around me, how traffic is moving and whatnot. So those are just some of the right off the dome things that I got, and I'm gonna go back and look at it as well and try to pick out some more stuff. But that's what I got so far.
That's great.
So I like to write shit down. So I definitely appreciated some pieces that Coop said. Dr. Coop said the body finds self-sabotage. We have to be very, very, very mindful and careful about that self-sabotage piece. And especially being in the medical field, everybody feel like a pill will fix everything. And 9 times out of 10, it ain't touching nothing, especially on a long-term solution-based situation. So just, I like that he called out that self-sabotage piece, and there are a couple books that came to mind, as always. There's one that I read called The Mountain Is You, for anybody who may struggle with self-sabotage, or just want to be open-minded to ways that you may be self-sabotaging that you don't know. And also there's one that's called The Body Keeps the Score. Haven't read that one. I heard it was really good. So just that awareness piece of like what's actually happening, because you may think that you're depressed. You may just be self-sabotaging. You may be all blessings all around you. You just don't see it because you're self-sabotaging. So I appreciate you calling that out. And I like that you said, I'm not getting no cold water or something like that. That scares me. I'm open. I will be. I'm open to it. But you say you have to teach your body to go beyond capacity. Crazy. That was super deep. So, Mr. Stan, you said you can't run away from your lesson. Boy, don't do that. I don't like that. Because we like, well, if you're trying to help me with a lesson, I'm just gonna go to somebody else. And, you know, as far as solutions. So I appreciate that exposure. And pretty sure you said trees don't cry over dead leaves. I was like, wow. So deep. Y'all so deep. Like, I was like, let's go. And you also said everything happens for me, not to me. Just like removing that personal, taking everything personal. That was a huge lesson for me because I mean, my feelings bad. Don't blame me. And I appreciate Tara's exposure to living outside of this country. Like even that as like opening up the conversation to that possibility because we be trapped in our minds. Because we think we're comfortable, we really not. We think we gotta fight, do all this stuff, and we really just could change our location because it's us. We all over the world, and like being open to that, I admire that about you. Who I miss? Miss Lyric. First of all, if you haven't seen Lyric perform, you are missing out on life.
Listen out.
You need to find her somewhere and check her out because she's super deep, and she expresses that with her poetry and her energy. Like people don't even know how to handle that. So they're like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. Well, she is a great artist, but also now I get to see more amazingness about you, Mr. Vernon. I think one thing I learned from you is sometimes I just can be quiet and be limited, you know, because I do like to talk, but then sometimes, you know, just finding that balance of I said what I need to say, and I'm good. Lesson learned.
Honestly, it's about what we was talking about the question, like community. This is all about community. This is what community is all about. It's learning from each other and seeing your reflection of yourself through everybody, like every one of us. Even now, people ask some questions in the office. In a crowd. My big takeaways is trees don't cry over leaves. Equality, you know, that makes a lot of sense because trees gonna continue to grow, be resilient, continue to sprout. I mean, even like branches fall off too. And by everybody's story and everybody's what they shared, honestly was food to my soul. Even though I can't like wrap off everything I remember, I know that it hit my soul. And that's the most important thing, like, because I mean that's how I got through a lot of stuff, you know, just listening to advice, community, you know, going into nature, you know, I love nature, bro. Nature's good. You know? You gotta get in that water though. But and then also just like expression, even though you don't know, you're trying to be a poet, it don't always have to be poetic. It can be just straight. Right off the dome, like get your mind on a piece of paper and take that from there. That's why I started. I always try to do a rhyme scheme. It's working. It's working. So I have to follow up. I'm like, wait a minute, just expression is part of the self. Just be authentic, you know? I need to work back out, bro. You just remind me I need to get back out there. I mean, I speak about things, like I work out and do all those things, but sometimes I get too busy. And time is the factor that will never stop going. And either you're going to prioritize your health, or you're just gonna let the time legit just pass by and you be like, man, I'm 50 years old. I ain't even like hit a dumbbell yet, you know? My body is like, when I try it, I can't get that, right? So start prioritizing like time, like, you know, we all got the same 24 hours. Get up at 5 o'clock. I hate to say it.
Go to sleep early.
I'm just saying, because honestly,
I don't think Tyra likes waking up early.
or just do it in your like lunchtime. Just go for a walk. Do some workouts and stuff. Also, gotta get back in the books too, you know, learning. And I love that you were dual, like, because a lot of people were thinking like, holistic gotta be on this side, and you gotta be pharmaceutical on that side. I love the in between, because hey, I can meet you where you are, on either side. And I love that, because I've been trying to tell people, like, tell my patients, like, you know, I'm pro-choice. You know, I'm here for you, and I'm just here to guide you in a certain manner, because some pharmaceutical stuff is necessary. Say, like, you die of cancer, you gotta get that stuff going. But some things, they just throw at you, and it comes adverse effect, and the adverse effect becomes another medication, and then adverse effect becomes another one. Next thing you know, you like a list of like 20 different medications. And I'm looking at this stuff like, dang, your body's under constant stress, and I gotta deal with this, you know, because I'm here with you. We in the trenches together, you know. I'm gonna try to dig you out. And if we can eliminate some medication by me joining a different medical team, you know, so we gotta talk, because a lot of people need this resource. And that's where the community comes back around again. And Tyra, man, I love the energy. She started off like, because I was a little bit nervous myself, but I love it. I love all this. I love all this, and then journaling again, just start with your own, no matter what. You don't have to say the right things, it's the right thing for you to say, for yourself.
Yes.
I guess it's me now. So first, I just want to say this, how you asked that question. No, you asked like what we all, we learned from each other, and then you said like, did we set up? I was thinking that while we were talking, I was like, this is crazy how we started this, and it's like boom, boom, boom. It was like a line, increase. So I noticed it, and when you asked, I'm like, damn, that did happen like that. So first, this is what I want to say, and then I took notes, because Bella said you can use digital. So if y'all thought I was on my phone, I was taking notes.
There was loud.
It was like, she said you could do it. So first, I want to say this, all of us are on our journey of self-discovery. It is crazy to me, because I've been on this journey for a while now, but you are always at the same spot, but you're just like adding more and more tools to your arsenal. And I love how all of us are on the same journey, but we have different like pockets that we can say, do this or try this and go here. So I want to say that I do want to hit on this Western medicine. I just had this conversation the other day, so that's why I want to say it. I'm a firm believer of the holistic approach. I feel like the Western medicine just masks things. It doesn't actually cure. It's a lifestyle change. It's about your mindset, being consistent, even if with working out. I just started working out. I think I've been in it for like 7 months. And when I say, I'll tell myself, you gotta go. And not, people will be like, oh, you just trying to look good. I'm not worried about that. Like
I look good regardless.
But I don't wanna get tired going upstairs. I don't wanna be 50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I can't, do this. So I've started now to incorporate being consistent, active, finding something that feels good for me. So I do Pilates, y'all want to do it. It's hard as shit, but it's fun. So, if you make it fun for you, and you use it as your place of release, like if that's your clarity space or whatever it's for, I think it's great. So I love how you were pushing and learning of being in the gym. But I also took notes, so I'm gonna say the things that I love from everybody. We all hit on the same thing. Okay, so exactly, this is what I got from you that I love. You said, like if there's things that make you hesitate, that means there's growth, you know what I mean? And I said, yes, so I wrote that, plus some other things, but I'm gonna give you that one. So, actually, I'm gonna do 2. The guided journal, so you know our journal, I rarely get a guided journal. Now, I have done workbooks that, have pushed me to dig deeper, but when you said the guided journals will challenge your thought process, I was like, whoa, now I'm gonna get one.
Yes.
Because I love when I challenge myself. Like, let me see, like with reading the books. Also, you said that about, reading the books will open your imagination. Yes, and yes, so, let's see, Vern. Wait a minute, where's that? Oh, I love this, be arrogant. You said, I don't give a fuck, we ain't trying to be humble. Like, why would I do that? Let me just show up. But show up on your capacity. Like, show up as who you are instead of what you think that looks like. So I love that you said that. And also, if you can't work for someone, then you should work on yourself. I love that, and I feel like you can go deeper. Like, even if you are working for someone, with someone, still make time to work on yourself and for you. Nobody else has to be the reason as to why I'm pouring into me. I'm just doing it because it feels good for me. Lyric, build your best relationships in community. I love that because you say you can be out and running and doing it, but that feels good for you. And that's how you cultivate and nourish your relationships. Therefore, your cup is always overflowing. You like, I can give and give and give. Like you have so much to give. It's this song I listen to, this money mantra song. And the guy says like, I have so much to give, so much to save, so much to share, you just have so much. You can do so much with it. So that's the one from you, Lyric. I really love that. Stands. Now I wrote this down because I like money. Lyric like money too, you see earrings. So y'all probably catch it. He said Mondays is for money. Did y'all hear me? He said Mondays is for money and manifestation. So I wrote that down. And also when you didn't say these words exactly, but we already said about the trees, right? But you said like change is what we're here for. It feels better when you're moving in purpose. So I love that, and I love how all of us just came together and just like ebb and flow. It was really good, and everybody was able to show up as themselves. Even Vern, you like, I don't do all this talking. I mean, you was doing it right there. It's
Signing up for a panel.
So yeah, we got that in. So yeah, that was mine.
That was awesome. That was so good. I'm so happy that you guys were able to get the gems from each other as well, because this is what this is about, and it's always been since we started it. So thank you so much. That was one of the reasons why I started it, because I would have conversations with my friends, and some of them would be like, you need to tell people about this. You need to tell people like your secrets and your little things that you do and stuff. And I'm like, all right, but like, I don't want people knowing too much about me. Like, I'm such a private person. But when I started to talk to her more about this, and then there would be times where she would tell me like, Bella, I told somebody about your this, and I told somebody about your that, and they loved it. I'm like, oh, it would make me want to cry, because I'm like, it's not just helping the person that I intended to help, it's helping somebody else as well. And then they're probably going to help somebody else with it as well. So this is what heading into Healing with Style is. It's really about knowing what is for you, what you're taking on, what is for you, what it isn't for you, what might become something for you. So thank you guys for being a part of this. Does anyone else have a question? We're kind of short on time, but I still want to get to your questions if you guys have any. No? Okay, well, DM me if you do have some, if you think of them, okay? Because I want to make sure that we answer them in any kind of way. But we're short on time, but I do want you guys to have community with each other and talk to each other. There's a lot more than just regular people here. You guys are gems all together, so thank you so much for being with us today and holding space for this type of healing and just being able to speak and hear each other out. So thank you so much. Can you guys clap it up for our panelists? So there's gonna be more information on uswithbear.com. I'm gonna write something to you guys directly as well. And my take from everyone with what they said, I don't wanna put too much into that, but I'm definitely gonna write something out for that. Everybody is tagged and linked on there, so please go there to find them. And then we're gonna be back here next month on the 13th, right? I think it was on the 13th, but the tickets are out there already, and then I'm gonna put the link on my bio today on Instagram, so if you guys have any questions. Each panelist is available to talk to y'all directly on any of the conversations that we had, they are open for that. And we might have some of them, most of them back next month if they're available, and we're having new people here as well next month that are gonna be talking about different things. I do have the topics already for next month, which I'm gonna put them on the website today as well, so you guys can see what we're gonna be talking about. Maybe you wanna give some input, send in some questions that I could already add to ask them. But thank you guys so much for being here with us today, and thank you, Fran, one more time for having us. Thank you. Oh, what's that?
I have a question. Do you know which of our guests was actually here first today? Because I have something I want to give to whoever was the first guest in.
Oh, wait, hold on. Who was here first? Yeah, it was them. It was them and the three in the table with the girls.
So I'm giving a book and a shirt.
Oh,
Was the
awesome.
first person in today.
Oh, thank you.
Just see me.
All right, so next time, show up early.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. You guys talk to everyone here. Please, have some time to have community with each other. You could eat